Hey everybody. Today, Rahdo runs down the Stygian Society, which is a cooperative fantasy adventure game where 1 to 4 players take on the role of brave adventurers trying to climb a mighty tower to defeat an evil wizard. And the way it works is, on a player's turn, they can first choose to do a support action, if they have one, and then they have to do a primary action. And then we move on to the next player. So, we've already got all 4 members of the Stygian Society here on the table, and the first player is going to be the Knight, who has a default ability of the Steel Fist and also has a randomly chosen as part of setup ability of the Harpoon Punch. And let's see. Now, the Harpoon Punch is actually a support action because that's indicated by the orange gem. So, this character could actually do 2 things. I think it will. First of all, they will do the Harpoon Punch as a support, which means choose an enemy from the rear rank and move it to the front rank and deal 1 unblockable point of damage. And now, tap this to indicate that it cannot be used again until characters level up, at which point everything untaps. So this is tapped, and we are going to do a Harpoon Punch before, and remember, this is a support action. Here are the bad guys. We're all at the beginning on the first floor. After we beat all the bad guys, we'll move on to the second floor, and then the third, and then the 4th floor, and then the 5th, and then the 6th floor where we fight the big wizard. We're on the first floor, and we're dealing with a run and gun situation. There are a ton of different floor setups, scenarios you'll run into as you play this game. And in this one, there is a cannoneer here in the back row who we cannot get to. He is protected by 3 slashers. But that Harpoon Punch is going to come in handy because it means we can just go on ahead and grab him and say, "Get over here!" and pull him down to the front rank. Now he is no longer protected, and he took 1 point of damage. 6 more and he'll be defeated and we'll get 4 experience points. And we'll be that much closer to clearing out this floor. So, that was the support action. Now the Knight is going to do their primary action, which could be Steel Fist, or it could be a generic attack, or helping out a fellow member of the Stygian Society, or regrouping. These are always available, but he also has Steel Fist. That's what he's going to do. And as it says, when he does the Steel Fist, this is a melee attack, which means it can only hit people in the front row. Fortunately, our cannoneer target is in the front row. Choose a target and then drop 2 blue cubes and 1 cube of the player's choosing. So, we'll go on ahead and drop 3 then, because 3 is basically good for hitting hard. We want to hit as hard as we can. We're going to choose to keep on working on this cannoneer because in this run and gun situation, at the beginning, the cannoneer is kind of weak. Their melee resistance has been dropped to only 1. Normally, it's 3. What's going to happen is, as we play, the longer it takes to beat these bad guys, the tougher it's going to be to beat them because they get stronger and stronger and more of them show up as our peril increases. So we want to hit hard and fast. So we're going to go for the cannoneer, and we're dropping all 3. And now, whenever the heroes do an action that requires dropping cubes, we've also got to drop cubes for the bad guy. The peril cubes, we're going to drop a black, a yellow, and a red. Alrighty. So, there's some good cubes here, there's some bad cubes there. We're going to drop them in the tower. And the way the tower is designed, you can see there's a bunch of shelves in there that these cubes could get stuck on. So what we drop in won't necessarily be what comes out. We want to see a lot of blue cubes come out and not any of the other cubes because that helps the bad guys. Let's do it. Okay, well, alright, so half of the stuff got stayed inside, and nothing made it into the crypt. If any of these, there's a random chance they land in the crypt, which means they're worth double. But as it is, we've got 2 blue and 1 yellow cube, which is for the bad guys, and 2 for the good guys. And the rest are just lying in wait. We never know when they will come out of that tower and strike, or help us. So, first of all, the bad guys get to go. They've got 1 yellow cube. So we look over here. Is there a yellow bad guy? Yes, there is. But the yellow bad guy needs to have 6 cubes built up. So this is just going to stay here and slowly build up over time until the cannoneer can do their big super shot that'll hit us very, very hard. Alright, so this is building up. And now, if the cannoneer were gone, if we wipe this guy out, then the yellow cubes will build up for the effect listed here on the room, which is just increasing our peril. So that wasn't too bad. Now, he gets to go. And as it says over here, if you have 2 cubes to spend, you can do 3 points of damage to your target, melee damage, and 2 extra wounds for every additional 2. So, we've got 2, we'll spend exactly those, and do 3 minus 1, so we're going to do 2 more points of damage to that cannoneer. Because remember, the Cannoneer's melee resistance is normally 3, but that, in this one, he has to build up over time because it starts out that his chest is cracked, reducing his melee resistance to 1. So, we have almost halfway taken him down right in the very first turn. And once we beat him, we'll get some experience points, he'll be out of the way, and then we can keep on working on these slashers. That was it for the Steel Fist. Now we move on to the next player, the Burglar. The Burglar in this random setup has no support skill, so he can't do it. He has a passive skill, or I should say she has a passive skill, and she has a response skill that she can do in response to certain things. So she's going to skip support and go straight to a core attack, and since she doesn't have any attacks, she'll have to do the generic attack or help. I think she's going to help her teammates, which means she picks any 4 cubes she wants and drops them into the tower. She won't use them, but hopefully they'll end up out here on the field and her teammates can use them later on because of teamwork. And now the field medic wants white cubes, magic cubes, as does the spell slinger, so I think the thief is going to drop, let's see, she's going to drop 4 cubes, or should she throw some blue in there too, so that some more blue could build up to help the knight later on? She'll go on ahead and add an extra blue. So she's dropping 4 white from the help ability, but her passive ability says whenever she drops cubes, she gets to drop 1 extra. So she'll do a blue as well. And now, again, whenever you drop cubes, you gotta drop the bad guy cubes. So we need a yellow, black, and a red. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, boom. This was a big hitter. First of all, we have a double blue because it landed in the crypt. So this counts as 2 blue for us in the future, which means it could be a very good start to another Steel Fist attack. Alrighty, so that's going to stay in the crypt. And let's move all the other stuff out of the way so it doesn't get in the way when we do our next drop. And let's see what the damage is. Alrighty, so first of all, we have 2 red cubes. The bad guys always go first. The slashers want 3 red cubes, at which point they will start attacking us. So we avoided an attack 1 more time. Awesome. And we only have 1 yellow, so the Cannoneer's not going to do anything, but we have 2 black cubes. There are no black enemies out here. There's just red and yellow. So that means we check over here on the board, and it says once there are 3 black cubes built up, then our peril will increase, and these events will start happening. But as it is, none of that happened, and we have 2 white cubes. Now, the thief was just helping. The burglar is not going to do anything with these cubes, so that's just set us up for the field medic. First of all, does the field medic have a support action, an orange cube one? No. So the field medic could go on ahead and start trying to heal. Could drop some white, 2 white and 1 of their choice, and 3 whites means healing, but we haven't been hurt yet. Now instead, he could do, I think the doctor will do some help too, so that we can get more cubes on the field. So both of these characters are going to help. So we're going to let's drop some more whites. Although you can see there are a finite number of cubes. And if all the cubes get stuck up in the tower, you might be in trouble. That's when you might try to regroup and spend your whole turn just getting all the cubes back into the supply. So he's going to help as well. Just going to put a bunch more whites so that we can have a really big hit, a big cascade of sparks from the spell slinger. But again, 3 bad guy cubes always come out. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, we're going to drop and see what we get. Okay. Well, we have our 3rd black, and a whole bunch of white is building up for the spell slinger to have a really big hit, and some more blue. Okay, so again, our field medic was helping, isn't going to do any of these things, and now we move on to the cascade of sparks, where you can see, hey, drop some more white. If you have 4 white, deal 1 wound to your target and every enemy adjacent, and raise that damage for every additional. So that's why we want a whole bunch of white set up for a really gigantic cascade of sparks. So that's totally what she's going to do. She does not have a support act. But before we go, the bad guys get to act. 3 black cubes is enough to raise our peril by 2. So we're starting to run out of time, and once we hit 4 peril, then the Cannoneer will become tougher and stronger to beat. But now, she is going to go, she's going to do this, she has to pick a target, she'll hit this guy, which means she'll hit all 3 of them with her cascade of sparks. She has to drop 2 white cubes, and you can see these are the last 2 white cubes we've got, plus 1 of another color. Let's go on ahead and put a blue in so we can start saving up for the night, and 3 more evil cubes, as always. Alright, there we go. And let's see, nothing but white, or blue cubes, please. Okay, we have a second. Oh no, this is a red. There are 1, 2, 3 reds, 4 reds. Oh my goodness. Wow. And we got a whole bunch of white, but the bad guys are going to get to hit us first. And oh my gosh, is that enough yellows? I'm not sure. So, first of all, we do the reds. They want 3, and as you can see, they've got 3 out here, but 2, so they're going to pick 1, 2, 3, and deal 2 wounds to the party for each slasher on the floor. 1, 2, 3, we just took 6 wounds because we were messing around getting ready for a big hit instead of wiping these guys out so they couldn't hit us hard. So they've hit us, and you can see they're built up for another big hit. Now, we don't have the 6 yellow cubes, so the cannoneer is not going to fire yet. And there are no black cubes, so the peril doesn't rise. Now, the spell slinger goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's get the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means 5 points of damage. Although the slashers only have 4, so let's leave 1. She'll spend these 3, so that's 4 points of damage to this, taking that one out, to this, taking that one out, and 4 points of damage, and it's a magic attack, not melee attack, so that'll be the remainder to take out 4 plus the 3. We've just taken out all of them. Oh my gosh, we really worked them over. Boom, boom, boom. That was a big hit, although we took a bit of a hit ourselves. And so there's only one more guy to beat, and we get to move on to the next floor. And but what's going to happen now is, because we beat 2 slashers and a cannoneer, that's 8 experience points. Boopity 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 boop. Boom! We have just leveled up. And now it gets tougher to level up again, and we have to start building up. And that means every player gets to look through their deck of cards, and they have an interesting choice to make. Either they can pick any card from the level they're on. We start at level 1, so you could pick any of these level 1 cards, or to level up, they could pick a random level 2 card. So you don't know what you're going to get. But then later on, once you have a level 2 card, in the future, when you get enough experience, you can pick any level 1 or level 2, or you can randomly choose a level 3. And that's how we become stronger and stronger as the bad guys wear us down, and we try to keep climbing this tower to race against the clock to beat one of the evil wizards. Who have all kinds of cool, interesting, special powers and all that. But it's not just the wizards on the 6th floor we have to beat. There are also mini-bosses on the 3rd floor who we have to beat as well, who can create big game-changing effects also. And that, folks, is a quick rundown on the Stygian Society. Neat game. Jen and I really enjoy the tower. We love it in Amerigo. We love it here. Really, our only complaint is, with the rules that I've got right now, in a 2-player game, each player has to control 2 heroes. There's always all 4 characters. We hate that. We much rather control just 1 character apiece, particularly because these characters, as they level up and get cool powers and items from treasure chests and stuff, they can get very complex, and it's really fatiguing to try to keep track of it all. I have talked to the publisher, though, and they are working on trying to come up with balance tweaks so that each player only has to control 1 character instead of 2, or even 3 if you're going to play solo. But otherwise, aside from that, the Stygian Society is a blast. It's a fun little puzzle of how you want to set up your cubes. You never know when the bad guys are going to hit and what they're going to throw at you. It's just a blast, and that, folks, is the rundown on this prototype of the Stygian Society. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.